When you're fishing grass, it's a lot different than fishing hardcover on the bottom. One thing, you have to match your bait depth with the depth that the grass is, or either hold your rod at the right height to where you're barely touching the grass instead of digging into it. And a lot of times I'll hold the rod down until it touches the grass, then I'll start raising my rod up to where it clicks the grass. If you tear that grass in, you're not going to catch them. You have to hit the grass and touch it occasionally, but you don't want to tear it. And that's hard to do, especially some types of grasses are a lot softer. If you could ever get lucky enough to get somewhere where there's hydrilla, a lot of times hydrilla is pretty tough and you can really grind it. Milfoil, on the other hand, is a grass that most time when you touch it, you're going to break it. Therefore, you have to barely touch it every now and then. Learn to adjust your rod, maybe change the size crankbait. Actually, I went from a 20.5 to a 17.5 just because the grass is coming up a little bit higher here. Everybody wants to throw fluorocarbon on a crankbait, and that's probably the worst line you can throw with a crankbait. It gets stressed out, it's got a lot of stretch. You have to retie it pretty regular. And actually, fluoro, I can actually wear it out in about a half a day, especially when you're using 8 and 10 pound tests. So braid's one of the deals, you can tie it on, fish with it all day, and a lot of times you ain't even got to retie. It's just so much more sensitive. As you can see, it's a real thin diameter. It's probably 10 pound test diameter, but I really like braid a lot better, especially fishing grass, because you can cut the grass with it a little more. You can jerk your bait and pull it free of the grass when you do get a little fouled up. The main thing is you can feel your bait, and that's the number one thing with crankbait fishing. If you can't feel your bait and you just got a dead pull out there, you're not going to catch near as many. When that bait hits the water and I start winding it and I can feel my bait vibrate, then if a fish touches it, I know that he has touched it, and I can stop it, I can jerk it and pause it. I can do a lot of different things to make him come back and hit that bait. Where mono and fluoro, you'll never have a clue that he even hit your bait. So the better you can feel your bait, the better crankbait fisherman you become.